and it looks like Alan Jackson and David Yannetti were fighting with each other during this sidebar.
Mr. McCabe, what is an Asian house?
This is just useless, frankly.
I'm an old guy, and if I put on reading glasses, I can read it.
That's a concern that I have. I can't admit an exhibit that the jurors need a flashlight to read it. That's not a proper way of going at this and then using the chungs. That's what I'm asking you.
Troopers back out front, in front of Asian house.
Just give it to him. The only concern I have is I don't want to give the jury something they need a flashlight to read.
Right, because you wanted to take a picture. I'm showing you a document, sir. Find yourself and look up at me when you're done.
I don't use glasses, but I can't see this. So maybe I need glasses.
We're back with another great episode of Sidebars thanks to the Trial Channel, and we're going to hear Matt McCabe testify with regard to text messages sent amongst the group after John O'Keefe was killed at 34 Fairview by Brian Patrick Higgins, old Higgy Bear. Let's watch.
I'm making it out. I got it.
No, he says he doesn't.
No, it's not. It's just dark, but I got it.
This is a page that contains the group text that you had with Jen McCabe, Brian Albert,
Yes.
and Nicole Albert.
But I was just picking up the area, cleaning, probably checked the bathroom to make sure that was clean. Just my usual thing that I do, picking up around the house.
My mom got home and I knew it went right to cleaning because she likes to clean. So she was in the kitchen picking up.
My sister, Nicole, was in the kitchen wiping the counters because she's always cleaning. My sister was cleaning.
Correct?
Yes.
You now acknowledge that you testified troopers back out front, but in front of Asian house, correct?
That's correct.
Mr. McCabe, what is an Asian house?
The next door neighbors to the Alberts were Asian.
So you mean that a family of Asian origin lived next door?
Yes.
How else would you describe a house occupied by Asians, which was right next door to 34 Fairview?
Were the next door neighbors to your brother-in-law and sister-in-law?
Correct. They live, if you come out of Fairview, they live to the right of the Alberts.
All right, let's take a look at the Asian house. Let's start at 34 Fairview. If you look at the tar on the roads, obviously that was a drunk Canton County employee. Definitely wasn't lucky that laid that tar down. Let's watch. This is 34 Fairview. Google allows you to blur out your house if you make that request, and clearly either Brian Albert or the current owners did that. This is the house as it was in April of 2022, just several months after John O'Keefe was killed at 34 Fairview. Let's move up now to the flagpole. I don't see much of a tribute by the Alberts reflecting where John O'Keefe was found. It looks like a wooden skid that you usually find underneath shipping pallets. Let's keep moving down towards the Asian house. Okay, there it is, 32 Fairview, the house right next door to 34 Fairview. I'm not sure why they refer to it as the Asian house.
Did you know their last name was the Chungs?
I had no idea that. I've never met them. I don't know their last names. I just knew it was an Asian family next door.
You didn't feel the need to ask their names or try to call them by their names?
I've never met them. Sorry.
Objections sustained. You know what, Ms. Giannetti, let's come to sidebar, please.
Get your asses up here for a sidebar.
Okay, here we go, the first sidebar of the day. Let's watch.
I just want to know where you're going with this. It just sounds like you're trying to show bad character on this person's part.
So he says this is in a group text to Brian Albert, who never corrects him, and he never tells him, no, that's the Chungs. It's not the Asian house, and it shows Brian Albert's state of mind as this text message is going on.
For what purpose?
They're monitoring what's going on in the neighborhood. This witness is watching what they're doing and reporting back to Brian Albert.
That's not a proper way of going at this and then using the Chungs. That's what I'm asking you.
I'm done with that. I won't pursue that.
Very sneaky by Yannetti, but obviously we all saw what he was doing. He wanted to elicit the fact that they were referring to a house that's full of Asians as the Asian house in order to show that they were being prejudiced towards Asians. And we know why. There was one juror who was Asian staring at them the entire time. That was Juror Ronnie. But he, like all other Asians, would never get offended by someone referring to a house full of Asians as the Asian house because it's just not offensive to Asians.
Further.
Yeah.
When you did tell the group chat about the troopers being at that house, nobody asked you to clarify which house you were talking about, correct?
Objection.
I'll allow that. Did anyone ask you to clarify?
Nobody asked me to clarify that I recall.
In fact, Brian Albert responded with just a question right now.
Did I get to see all the text or no?
With the court's permission,
Yes.
I'm going to give you the previous page in case you need.
Just give it to him. Thank you.
That's what I was just looking for.
At that point, you texted the group that you were trying to get a picture of what you were seeing, correct?
I didn't see that on the text.
Old Matt McCabe, plain detective, saw troopers outside 34 Fairview, and eventually they moved towards the Asian house, and he reported back to the group text telling him exactly what was going on, and then he was trying to snap a picture of it.
Do you have a phone with a flashlight on you?
I don't have a phone on me. If you have a flashlight, I'll be...
Whenever a witness is so dramatic about being able to read a document that's given by an adverse attorney, it is an indicator of deception, and we see it here. Matt's acting as if he can't read this at all. He's fumbling and stumbling. I see right through it. It's a very poor appearance for any witness that testifies.
Let's see it.
Do you mind?
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Jim.
All right, much better.
Having reviewed that, do you acknowledge that you texted the group that you were trying to get a picture of what you were seeing?
Yes, I said I was going to try to take a photo.
You would agree with me that you were watching what was going on, correct, on February 1st?
No, I just happened to be driving through the neighborhood at that moment.
Just having seen the troopers back out there at that house, in your mind, you still weren't done.
I was going to take a picture to show them, oh, the troopers are outside your house.
In answer to my question, you weren't done with that scene, correct?
I think I was, because I don't know if I took a picture.
Well,
I think I went through. I mentioned I was going to try to take a picture. I don't know if I took a picture or not.
you didn't intend to be done at that point, correct?
I didn't intend to be done?
Right, because you wanted to take a picture of what was going on.
I was going to take a picture to show them that the troopers were outside in front of the house.
You wanted
Correct.
to continue to monitor what was going on, did you not?
I was not monitoring what was going on. I just happened to drive by at that moment.
May we be seeing sidebar?
Get your asses up here for a sidebar.
Okay, here we go again.
Your Honor, I have the entire unredacted exhibit that includes the entire conversation that I would like to mark for identification only. I will ask as the examination goes on, I'd be seeking to introduce selected portions of the text exchange which have been redacted and don't show any complete phone numbers and don't show any of the objectionable markings, including that one. But I'd like this marked for ID at this time if I could.
Yannetti was having a hard time with these text messages. One, because they had the phone numbers on them initially, so they had to redact that, and then eventually the final product was not that easy to read, so now he's stuck with that issue because you cannot admit evidence to the jury for which they need a flashlight or a magnifying glass to view.
Madam Court Reporter, could you mark this for identification?
I think I have 10 or 15 minutes. I don't know if the court has to.
I think the jury needs a break, so we'll take a recess.
Sounds good.
Having reviewed those, sir, does this appear to be an accurate transcription of the sequence and the content of the group text chat?
All right, the only concern I have is I don't want to give the jury something they need a flashlight to read.
Well, my next...
So can I see it?
Of course.
Get your asses up here for a sidebar.
So are you objecting to this content coming in? This can't go to the jurors? I mean, you can't read it, but are you objecting to the content if we get it lightened or something?
Are you saying because it's not legible?
Right, that's what I said. I can't admit an exhibit that the jurors need a flashlight to read it.
We just, as a matter of protocol, the reason that it's so awful is because there's like 3...
Right.
Because we had to redact it. However, I will say, if it's any assistance to the court and possibly to the jurors, the unredacted version can be shown on the TV is very legible. These are awful.
Despite not being the attorney questioning Matt McCabe, old Alan Jackson offers his opinion, and we know Bev doesn't necessarily love that. Or him.
The unredacted version has the phone numbers visible. I said the electronic. I don't mean to argue with you. Oh, okay.
And it looks like Alan Jackson and David Yannetti were fighting with each other during this sidebar.
Paper copy is awful.
What's the Commonwealth's position? If this were legible, would there be an objection to it?
I have some concerns about hearsay from other people's statements.
I have concerns about statements with his wife. Is it all a group chat?
Yes, but I'm not introducing the statements between him and his wife.
Statements between married couples are generally not admissible as evidence. They're protected somewhat like the attorney-client privilege.
Yeah, it's all a group chat. There are other people on the group chat. It's not just a husband-wife communication.
What do you want to put up on the screen and we can deal with it? Is there an objection or not?
Yes.
What do you want to put up on the screen? Is it just what he has already said?
Yes.
All right. That's already in evidence. Just what he said you can display.
And I point out what was said to him.
So just what's already in evidence?
Whatever is already in evidence with regard to this exchange, yes.
I'll let you put those up on the screen. They'll see it on the screen, so it's in evidence. This is just useless, frankly.
It's not prejudicial, though. I'm an old guy, and if I put on reading glasses, I can read it.
That's a concern that I have.
I understand.
Your objection is preserved. I'm going to think about it depending on... I haven't read them, and there's an objection. I need to read it.
If we're not going to introduce the specific text, we can agree upon a transcript we can prepare to send to them so that they can read it by way of stipulation.
But I will let you display only what's already in evidence.
Understood.
There's an objection to this, so I'm not letting KK in yet. It's here. We can tie up the loose ends later.
Sounds good.
Troopers back out front, but in front of Agent House.
The judge was concerned with the ability for the jury to actually read the text messages, but clearly you could see them here. It wasn't such a big deal after all.
Looks like more has been dug up there, or at least looks like it.
Clearly, Inetti thought that the group referring to the Asian House as the Asian House would be offensive to juror Ronnie and perhaps someone else, but it doesn't really work because the word Asian is not offensive to Asians. But another great job by the beautiful, intelligent Corey Hopkins and the trial channel putting this together so we can hear what was going on at these private sidebars during both trial number 1 and trial 2. But no matter what, we will never, listen closely, Brian Patrick Higgins, ever stop producing these videos until the real killer,
Brian Higgins,
is brought to justice.
I kissed Brian Higgins the other night. I love you, gay Jeff.
I didn't do it.
I had nothing to do with John's death.
You massholes better produce those documents.